What is up, people? It's Keeping It Real Estate on the Beach, and I am the real estate coach coming at you live from KBeach Global Radio on the campus of Long Beach State. And joining me in the booth every morning is Frank Casarez, REO Frank. Say hello, Frank.
How you doing?
How you doing? Thank you, Joey. How you doing?
Right.
The Mortgage Mistress, Alissa Alverez. What's going on?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. It's a New York kind of day.
Forget about it.
It's a New York kind of day. And Scotty Schang, the Dean of Homeownership University. It's all right. Oh, wow. We're going to have a good show. This is Keeping It Real Estate, where we talk to you about real estate-related information and what's going on around the Long Beach area. Help you to decide on what you're going to do as far as buying and selling houses. We bring it to you straight. We give it to you real, and that's why we call it Keeping It Real Estate. We like to say that it's real estate like you've never heard it before. And getting into our topics today, real estate like you've never heard it before. We're going to do.
We said that.
I talk about it.
Just now. Okay.
I talk about it all the time.
Okay.
Really,
Deja vu all over again.
Deja vu all over again. We are going to talk on our first subject. Lisa's going to lead this one. Can I buy a second home if I am upside down on my first home? And let's just say, for those of you who don't know, upside down means I owe more money on my first home than it is worth. So if that's the case, if I'm in a bad way on my first home, can I go out and buy a second home?
Right. The answer is yes, you can.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Keeping It Real Estate.
Next. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Next.
You know what the challenge that people are seeing is they have this home that they're in. They're upside down, right?
Yes.
And they can't sell it because if you sell it, you're obviously upside down, so it's going to have to be either via short sale or possibly a foreclosure. And as we've talked about several times on the show, if you do that, you're going to have to wait X amount of years before you can purchase again. So that's obviously not the ideal situation for these people who are wanting to buy again. So I get asked this question quite a bit, and I would almost even say this is kind of becoming like a niche among home buyers. Would you say that in this market? I get this all the time, especially this year.
And it's mostly folks that kept making their payments as their equity was going down. They stuck in there. They did the responsible thing,
right? So, I mean, what I'm seeing a lot, and I'm going to use the most common scenario that I see. You're going to have to pretty much overcome two challenges when you're trying to do this. And
Number
one is you're going to have to be able to qualify with both mortgages counting against you as your debt. Okay, so number two,
you got to have some serious cash.
Some cash. You got to show that cheddar. Number two is you're gonna have to prove to the bank that you're not what we call a buy and bail borrower. You're not going to buy and bail. So what exactly is buy and bail?
Yeah.
We saw this a lot in the past couple of years. I would say between 2008 2010. People who are in this situation.
The guideline in 08.
Right. You'll see people in this situation. They're saying, I'm going to buy this other one. I plan on renting out my underwater house and keeping it. So they get financed, they get into the new home, and immediately they turn around and short sell and let the other house go. So they are buying the new one and bailing on their old underwater property.
Alissa, how are some ways that you can prove that you're not going to buy and bail?
How can you do that? The easiest way, the one that I see the one that I see that goes through the most is saying that you're a move-up buyer. Okay, so say you're a couple and you bought a condo, at the height, and it was just you two. Things were nice. Now you've got a baby, you've got another baby on the way, and your little 2-bedroom condo.
You get busy.
Not enough. So you need to get bigger space. So if we can prove that, and now you're buying
the babies would
home,
be right there.
You want a backyard for your children to play in, all that good stuff. If we could prove that, that's probably the easiest way to do it. There's a couple other scenarios that you can do.
A big red flag is if you're buying the home within 50 miles of the other home. That's the big red flag, and then you kind of have to you got some splaining to do.
Lucy,
I had somebody that just moved from Orange to Huntington Beach.
Yeah, and that's when you have to do the move up or some other ones is
empty nester.
Empty nester, elderly homeowners.
Soon, my friends, very soon.
In a two, well, for you probably now, a 2-story to a 1-story.
Yeah, I know.
Because you can't get up the stairs anymore.
Because I can't walk anymore.
Coach,
those are some of the I see the most the move up buyer.
So if I have my doctor, and obviously this is somewhat serious. I know it's tongue in cheek, but because I have a back injury, if I have my doctor sign basically a note saying, "Hey, this guy, his back is really jacked up, and
He
this
can't be
second
in
story
the-
thing." I could move down the street.
You'd probably have to have some form of permanent disability, like a handicap plaque or something. Probably getting some sort of Social Security benefits. You'd probably have to prove it with the state.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. It's not
But
just
it's
one
possible.
item.
It's
It's
possible
Well,
that
it's possible that
It's
you
could be
have a
supplemental.
friend who's a doctor that forges a note for you too. You scammer.
How about
Yeah.
paranormal activity? Is that an excuse?
You know what? If
You
you're
gotta
Have
try
not-
it.
Have not encountered
Okay.
that.
Frank, only
Yeah.
you and your zombie theories
Oh,
would come up
let's not
with
talk
that.
about zombies right now.
So
Oh, I know.
let's go
Don't
back.
start.
Virus is coming.
Well,
Don't
let's go back
start.
to the second challenge. Okay, so say you prove your move up buyer. Now
I've
you've got
proven it. I got two kids to prove it.
We've built it.
Bad back, 2 kids.
Now you gotta
New job.
qualify with both mortgages, and this is the second.
Well,
challenge.
that lets me out.
If you can't do it on your own, the common solution that I see is you bring on a cosigner. Okay, so obviously your
Frank?
cosigner, they want to make sure you got good credit scores, and
Oh,
they
forget
also
Frank.
have good income that
Scott?
they're bringing in.
Oh. That's what I'm trying to-
They're bringing in income, so with that additional income, hopefully you now qualify with both.
Now, Alissa, a common question that I get, because you're right, this comes up a lot. So
A lot.
really, really common question is, well, can't I just rent the other one out? What are the guidelines on that?
Well, you can't, and we're actually going to discuss that.
Wow.
Oh, I'm
Sure.
sorry. Did I just?
No, it's okay.
No,
Ooze
it's
into
one of my
another
new.
segment?
Yeah,
I
it's
love it
one of
when
my
you
new
step on-
topics.
I love it when you step
the
on
short
here.
answer is no, you cannot, because for the both major.
Well, you can
Both-
rent it out. It
Well,
just
you
won't do
can.
any
You just
good.
can't count that income. You just can't count that income towards qualifying.
Really?
And we'll get into that on another
More to
topic that
come
we're
on
going to be
that
doing
topic.
this month. So
More to come.
more to come. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. Maybe that could even be part 2. Why?
So I'm assuming that there's a lot of people in this
Lots.
position,
Yeah.
right?
I have 3
Because
people right now that just got pre-approved this month alone.
yeah,
That
I
is a
mean
lot.
everybody's upside down. Well, not everybody, but most people are upside down. So that right there is a big pool. And then there's a lot of people who would prefer to take advantage of the current
Yeah.
market
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and move into a bigger house for less money and to a better neighborhood, whatever it might be.
The only way
Yeah.
they can do that is to get rid of the home. Now, at what point do you not have to worry about qualifying for both mortgages?
Is there a way?
What do you mean?
Oh,
My
dude, you
contact
totally missed it.
Oh, that was
I
a
thought-
setup.
I
In
teed
case
that
you didn't
one
know,
up
that
so
was
high.
yeah, he did. That
Sorry,
was that was a setup. He was
okay,
setting
say
you
that
up.
again. I'm
Time
putting
out.
my
Try it again.
contact here.
At what point do you not have to qualify for both mortgages to buy a new home?
Don't know. Tell me.
It's too early
I'm
in the
not
morning
catching-
for
I'm not catching your
Elisa.
hint.
Did you stop at Starbucks this morning?
When you have 30% equity in your
Oh.
current
That's
home.
not
Yeah,
bad.
but that's what we're getting into in the next topic.
Is that
Oh,
bath
did I
salts
step
in
on you
there?
again?
Oh, you're just crushing. You're crushing this girl
got
today.
us just hanging.
Got you hanging, and that's only for conventional.
Wow.
Fake shades
That
less.
didn't happen. That didn't
So our basic topic, right, is can you buy a second home if you're upside down on your first home? The basic answer is
Yes.
However,
With some challenges that you'll need to overcome. The first one being you got to qualify
I
for
had a girlfriend like that once.
The second.
8 minutes.
I
9.
know, right?
Oh.
Was it that long? And the
Has
second
the
one
timer
being.
going.
Frank has the girlfriend timer going.
Does he?
It's the
Yeah.
official girlfriend timer.
Official
What
girlfriend
is
timer.
it?
9 minutes.
9 minutes until Eric.
For
Yeah,
that.
so the 2 challenges.
Lay down the joke.
You got to qualify with both mortgages as you're on your debt, and the second is you got to prove you're not a buy and bailer. Can't buy and bail.
Are there reserve requirements on that also? Is it just qualify for both payments?
What's
no, well, it's
reserve
going to depend on
requirements,
what
Scott?
kind of financing you use, and I would recommend going with FHA because it's much simpler.
What's
Okay.
reserve requirements?
Enough money in the bank to make X number of payments.
After all
in
the
case-
costs,
Yeah, after
they
all the
want to
costs.
see an X amount.
It's got to have the
Kinda like a
case.
piggy bank of
You got to have
safety.
the cheddar.
Got to have the lettuce.
No, it's lettuce. Cheddar and lettuce. That
I
doesn't
got
sound
all
good.
sorts of euphemisms.
We're making a
for
sandwich.
money.
Pretty soon we're going to have the bologna, which is pretty much the next
So the
segment
estimate,
because Frank's
right,
running
over
it.
in Alaska, they have all these
Ta-da.
words for snow and ice. We've got a lot for money.
We got a lot
That's
of
what's
money.
important here in the capitalistic country of USA.
Awesome. Now,
Wow.
you were teasing us as we come up on some other subjects in the future. We're going to expand on this.
Yes, in a couple, sometime this month,
Mm-hmm.
in not next show, but in the following weeks, I'm going to be talking about when can I count these rents as rental income when purchasing another property. So,
just out of curiosity, this is a totally separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with activity right now as far as mortgages? Is it
actually,
up? Is it down?
Loan originations are up.
That's
Loan applications are up.
That's a good
lot
word,
of
loan
the
origination.
a lot of the April reports came out, have been coming out, and for April, loan originations and applications are up for the second straight month, and they're at the highest in the past 4 months.
So there's activity out there. People, are they normal people or are they investors?
Are they paranormal?
No, I'm seeing a lot of first-time home buyers, and surprisingly, a lot of what we just talked about.
Moving on
I would
up.
say, like right now, I have 3 just pre-approved again this month alone that is doing move up, and then of course, first-time home buyers are still, at least on my end, dominating. Investors really don't use me too much because they tend to buy cash, but a lot of first-time home buyers and move up. So
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's speaking of first-time buyers, don't forget on the last Wednesday of every month, which is going to be what in June? Does anybody know?
Next week.
Last Wednesday
No.
in June?
Last week.
No.
June?
Today's June 1st, Scott.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So,
Is it really?
yeah, or actually June 2nd when the show airs.
It's okay to say. We're
Yeah.
recording ahead of time.
We are. We're recording the show for tomorrow because the campus is closed on the weekends
All
during
through
the
the summer,
summertime.
so.
Yeah, so we have to record early, but it's the beginning of June. How's that? So
God, it's already June, you guys.
I know, I can't believe it. Anyway,
Slap
the
me
last
through.
Wednesday of every month, we hold a workshop, the 4 of us together with some local professionals, and we help people answer these questions, these first-time home buyer questions and questions about mortgages and title and insurance and all this stuff. Even Big Bank Frank is there to back up B of A and the rest of them.
That would be Wednesday, the 27th of June.
Thank you very much, Scott. And you guys can check that out at helpsocal.com. That's helpsocal.com. You can sign up and leave us a question you want answered. We'll have a professional there to answer the question for you. It's a lot of fun, and we do it to just to help you out, help empower the consumer, because that's what we're all about.